Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, June 1st, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $sign ORION-NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat. Right here, we got the Minnesota Twins versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Sunday, everyone. And on the thumb on the left, the stud center fielder, Byron Buxton. And on the right, a center field stud of our own, Julio Rodriguez. Now let's get into the starting lineups here for the visiting Minnesota Twins. Leading off for the Twins in right field, Trevor Larnach. Batting second, catching today for Minnesota, Ryan Jeffers. Batting third, DHing for the Twin Cities, Matt Wallner. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, shortstop, Carlos Correa. Batting fifth, playing left field, Willie Castro. Batting sixth, playing second base, Cody Clemens. Batting seventh, playing first base, Ty France. Batting eighth, playing center field, Harrison Bader. And batting ninth, playing third base, Royce Lewis. And on the mound for the Twins with a 2-5 record and ERA of 3.92, it is Chris Paddock. And now let's get into the starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, DHing for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. Batting third, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting sixth, playing first base, Rowdy Tellez. Batting seventh, playing right field, Leody Taveras. Batting eighth, playing second base, the hero for the Mariners last night, making his MLB debut and coming up big. You know who it is, Cole Young. And batting ninth, playing third base, Ben Williamson. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 4-3 record and ERA of 3.32, it's La Piedra Luis Castillo. And we're going to need 6 solid innings out of Luis here today, and hopefully we can find a way to win the series. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. Let's see, get everything situated here. Luis Castillo on the mound. And leading off will be right fielder Trevor Larnach. On deck, catcher Ryan Jeffers. And batting third, DHing Matt Wallner. And we'll be shooting for 50 likes throughout the broadcast or more. And obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. right, just about getting set here for first pitch. Castillo on the mound. Trevor Larnach in the box. Kind of a crazy series. You know, things have been pretty rough for the Mariners, you know, in the last month and a half. But again, we ended up having a big, explosion, late, obviously from the bullpen, and not in a good way. Giving up 7 runs in that last game against the Nationals, losing that one in 10, and giving up 6 runs, obviously, in game number 1. And again, with Colin Snyder against the Nats, and then obviously with Trevor and a few of the others, we're looking at obviously in the farm and a few other individuals. But Casey Legomina, giving up 6 in game number 1, and we ended up losing 12-6 in 10. But yesterday, Cole Young making his MLB debut, and did he ever? Got a hit, got a walk-off. First player in Mariner history to do that in his MLB debut. We end up winning 5-4 in 11. And again, I know this is going to be tough, but I think we have the talent to do it. And it's just nice to be able to see the, blend of OGs and the youth movement, especially when we have the number 1 farm system in MLB. Next up will be Harry Ford whenever they decide to call him up. And I hope they call him up within the next couple months, if not sooner. And hopefully we can get the dub here today. AM in the building, what's good? All day in the building, what's good? For real. And again, I've been following his career, obviously since the farm. So, as soon as they drafted him, I was paying attention, and obviously we know Colt Emerson, Harry Ford, Lazaro Montes, Feldman, Celestin, Durangelo. I mean, we got a lot of guys in the farm that are going to actually be starting on this team within the next, 2 to 5 years. But there may be a couple more guys that get called up, this year. And one of them should be Harry Ford, but we'll find out whenever that time is right. Luis Castillo here on the mound, 4-3 record, ERA of 3.32. He's been very solid, and let's see what we can get here out of Luis. First pitch to Luis Castillo to Trevor Larnach, and popped up, lined out to left. Randy Arozarena is there, 1 away. Good start here for La Piedra. Next up for the Twins, catcher Ryan Jeffers. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 after that point. 50 overall is the goal, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Top of the first, 1 out. First pitch, pop out to Randy Arozarena. Let's see what we have here with Jeffers. First pitch to Jeffers with a slider low and away by Luis Castillo, 1-0 count. 83 miles an hour on that slider. Let's go, Luis. 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle, fouled off by Jeffers. 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Jeffers. Yeah, amazing. And again, I wouldn't be shocked if Harry Ford does something similar, when he debuts as well. Very exciting, to be able to see these young guys be able to come up big. And, again, we needed a little bit of an emotional boost and lift, not only mentally, but obviously hitting-wise as well. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Great start here by La Piedra. Oh, baby. I like it. A pop out on the first batter to Larnach. And then Jeffers, big swing and a miss. Nice punch out by Luis. I like it, baby. Good start. Next up, batting third, DHing Matt Wallner. Let's go, Castillo. That is a good question. I don't know that off the top of my head. That'll be something that you might have to look up on Google. And they would probably be able to give you an answer that you could report back here on the channel while I'm calling the game. But not too sure what the record is, for the Seattle Mariners, let alone MLB record. So, Lauren in the building, what's good? First pitch fouled off, low and away from Castillo to Wallner, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle from Wallner. Behind in the count now, 0-2 to La Piedra. go, baby. Pitches low and away with the changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Matt Wallner. Let's go, baby. One-two pitch, low and away. 87 miles an hour by a changeup there by Luis Castillo. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, and 2 outs. 2-2 pitch, high and away, fouled off there by Wallner. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and nobody on. Pop up for the first out from Larnach, punch out, and a big swing and a miss by Jeffers on batter number 2. And let's see what we can get here with Wallner for batter number 3. And obviously with our starting pitching has been getting better lately. Again, we have a couple guys that are still injured, like Bryce Miller and Logan Gilbert, and obviously George Kirby hasn't been very good in his first couple rehab stints back, but we're hoping, Bryce and Logan Gilbert and George Kirby can turn it around. But if not, we still got a very good Logan Evans that we can call up. Emerson Hancock has been better lately. Same thing with Luis Castillo. And 3-2 pitch, and he walked him. Matt Wallner to first. Next up, shortstop Carlos Correa, who got ejected last night. Let's go La Piedra. First pitch, high and away with the 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by Luis Castillo, 1-0 count. And we want to make sure we're keeping the Twins in check, 3 runs or less, by our starting pitcher. And if we can do that, that gives us a very good chance to be able to come out with the dub and the series win here today. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike off that slider to Carlos Correa. Go Mariners, Trident's up. One pitch. Big swing and a miss. High and inside with a 4-seam fastball. Tries to jam the hitter and does. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Castillo on the mound. Carlos Correa in the box. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And, it shows you if you can, have some faith in the guys in the farm rather than, getting guys in the off season, like Miles Mastroboni and Donovan Solano. That money should have been used to get better relief pitchers in the pen. We have plenty of guys in the infield and outfield in the farm, and hopefully the Mariners will learn that. Pitchers is where it's at, starting and relieving. You can never have enough. In play, and down goes Correa. Here we go, baby. Great start by Luis Castillo. I love that. Trident's up. Let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And again, he's been sitting at 4 home runs for ages. And again, it's a nice defensive play there from J.P. to get that out on Correa. But again, I kind of had a feeling that home run number 5 was coming. And, again, sometimes you just need to talk it out loud. And, maybe the sports gods will listen and make it happen. J.P. did. And he was one of the heroes last night, as well as Julio Rodriguez, Cole Young, and the pitching staff. Batting second, DHing Jorge Polanco. In the last 15, 16, 17 games, he's batting like 100. Maybe we should send him to the IL. You should definitely send him lower in the lineup. We put him in the 7-hole for 1 game and then brought him right back up to the 2-hole. Polo's not very effective right now. And honestly, we need to have someone better at DH if the Mariners are going to want to win short term or long term. Polo was batting 350 to 450 with 10 homers early, but lately, within the last month and a half, hasn't really done anything. And hopefully he'll be able to turn that around. Come on, Polo. And batting third, center fielder stud Julio Rodriguez. And if he didn't make that amazing throw in the outfield, to Mitch Garver late with that tag, we wouldn't have won the game. Let's see if we can get the bat to come alive, and hopefully we'll have something like this at some point in the matchup. Trident's up. Let's go, Julio. You've been great in May. Let's have a fantastic June. Let's get it. Go Mariners. On the mound for the Twins, 2-5 record, ERA of 3.92, Chris Paddock. First pitch from Paddock to JP, low and away, fouls that one off. 4-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Let's go, JP. Bring that intensity, bring that energy, and get on base as early as you can. especially if you can set the tone with the first batter. Anytime we have Victor Robles or JP or Julio leading off, it's very instrumental for our success to get that first guy on base, because typically if JP or Victor gets on, right, then that second and third and fourth guy, they feed off that momentum. And again, hopefully we can get JP on base here early. 0-1 pitch, fouled off again, right down the middle from Paddock to JP. Nice souvenir for a fan there. Go JP. And JP is our starter at the moment. Big swing and a miss. Down goes JP Crawford, one away. But once Colt Emerson is ready to go, he will be taking JP's spot. It may be in a year. It may be in 2 years. We'll find out. But the youth movement is real. And I can't wait to be able to have a first base, second base, shortstop, third base, everyone in the infield being kind of a young buck. And again, we can have some OG vets in the outfield and obviously Big Dumper as the catcher. I think that would be the best fit for our team moving forward, a blend of old and new. First pitch from Paddock to Polo. Takes a strike looking in that corner, tries to paint it with the curve, 76 miles an hour, and does. 1-0 count, no, 0-1 count. Come on, Polo. You got to do something, my guy. 0-1 pitch, high and away, fouled off. Behind in the count, 0-2 to Jorge Polanco. We got to get your batting average up. Last 15, 16, 17 games, batting 100 after batting 350 to 450 for the first month and a half. Last month, it's been the complete opposite. We need to figure it out. If not, we're going to have to send Polo to the IL or just send him, on the bench and not play him. Obviously, he's not good enough to play second or third. We have better options there. He's got a noodle arm. So we need to make sure that if Polo's going to be the DH, he's actually getting hits. And Polo fouled out to third, 2 away. The struggles continue for Jorge Polanco. But a guy that's not struggling, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Had a very tough March and April like he always does, but really turns it around in May, and I expect June to be just the same. Let's go Julio Rodriguez. First pitch to Julio, inside, tries to jam the hitter. Big swing and a miss. No. He takes it looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch from Paddock to Julio, low and away. Big swing and a miss that time. Change up 84 miles an hour. Behind in the count, 0-2 to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, Julio. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Julio Rodriguez. And that's the end of the first inning. We haven't seen Julio strike out nearly as often as he did earlier in the year, as well as last year. That was a nasty pitch there by Paddock. I see you. And hopefully we'll be able to get something in the second inning. End of the first inning. We're knotted up at 0. Let's see who's up next here for the Minnesota Twins. Next up for the Twins, left fielder Willie Castro. Batting second baseman Roger Clemens' son, Cody Clemens. And batting third, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman, Ty France. Always like rooting for former Mariner players. Again, I don't mind if Ty does well as long as the Mariners win. Facts. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 50 or more throughout the stream, and we've been able to hit that number pretty consistently lately, so thank you. And obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Looks like we need 6 more likes to get to 20. We're at 14. We got about half of the people in the room that have done it so far, so thank you. And hopefully we'll get the other half to do it here momentarily. Also want to give a shout out to all of the countries that are watching on a regular basis. Numbers have gone up considerably. We just got another sub here to the channel, so appreciate that. And again, we're getting quite a few up, ticks in the numbers and whatnot. So we have 2,400 people that are regular viewers that come back on a regular basis, which is great. Obviously, the male to female audience has obviously been able to grow as well. We got the female audience all the way up to 12.3%, male 87.7%. So shout out to all of the homies out there and the ladies watching all over the globe. And then we got people watching from the United States, 66%, but we got Venezuela, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Canada, Philippines, Japan, Taiwan, Colombia, Nicaragua, Australia, New Zealand, just to name a few. Shout out to you if you're in the room and you're in one of those countries as well. or in the United States. Love you. Appreciate you. First pitch to Willie Castro. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 0-1 count. Luis Castillo on the mound. 4-3 record, ERA of 3.32. Willie Castro in the box. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away with a four-seam fastball. 95 miles an hour by Luis Castillo to Willie Castro. 1 ball, 1 strike, and a 1-1 pitch in play to Castro. And grounded out to third. Ben Williamson, throw to first. Got him, baby. There we go. 1 away. Nice job by Ben Williamson in that defense. Down goes Castro. 1 away. Next up, second baseman Cody Clemens. First pitch to Clemens inside. Tries to jam the hitter. Fouls it off. 95 miles an hour with that fastball from Castillo. 0-1 count. Great to have Cole Young's family in the building out there from Pittsburgh. It's going to be very exciting, again, once we get Harry Ford as well as Colt Emerson there, too. Lots of talent. Lazaro Montes, Felman Celestin, Durangelo, the pitcher that can pitch from the left and the right. This team is going to be amazing in the next few years. And, again, I like our chances this year to make a very deep run. Cal's going to have a great chance to win MVP this year as well. Obviously, it'll either be him or Aaron Judge in the American League, and then National League will be Shohei Ohtani. And Cal actually has a legitimate chance to win, the home run, title in 2025. I mean, really, the only people that are going to be right with him, you would assume, would be Ohtani and Judge. In play on the 2-1 pitch and popped out to right. Leody Taveras is there, 2 away. Chris in the building, what's good? Trident's up. Next up, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman, Ty France. And I'll always root for Ty. He can do well as long as the Mariners win. And at the end of the day, I can always root for players like Eugenio Suarez on the Diamondbacks, Ty France, obviously here on the Twins. They can even hit a home run, and have an amazing 3-for-4 day just as long as the Mariners win. That's really the key. Astros are nipping at our heels. We were able to take back the division, which we haven't really been out of first place that often. We've been dominating the division so far. We're about a third of the way through the season right now. 31-26 record, 15-14 at home. We got to be better at home, that's for sure. And it all starts here on this homestand. But bringing Cole Young up was really the difference. The bats have been cold, and sometimes you need to take 1 step backwards to go 10 steps forward. And again, if the bat stayed hot, Cole Young does not get called up. So I'm happy that I wasn't happy that we've been struggling, in the last month and a half, but I am happy to see one of our really highly touted prospects, former first round pick from a couple years ago, here as our starting second baseman, not temporarily. We're talking about probably from the next 5 to 10 years or longer. That's how good he is. Top of the second with 2 outs, runner at first. Let's go, baby. And next up is Harrison Beta. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Beta. Top of the second inning, runner at first with 2 outs. Castillo on the mound, Beta in the box. And hopefully, Luis can give up 3 runs or less. And so far, he's looked very sharp. And down goes Beta. There we go. Nice job, La Piedra. Nice job, defense. I like what I'm seeing. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning and see who's up next here for the Mariners. Trident's up. Next up for the Mariners, the man that is leading the MLB in home runs, tied with Shohei Ohtani. You know who it is. It's the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. Home run leaders as of 3 hours ago. Cal Raleigh, number 1 with 22. Shohei Ohtani tied with him in the National League, 22. Aaron Judge, the future Hall of Famer, 21. Schwarber, 19. And then there's a little bit of a drop-off after that. You got 3 guys tied with 16. Corbin Carroll, James Wood, the stud from the Nationals, up-and-coming all-star. Taylor Ward from the Angels, and then you got 2 guys at 15, a guy that I really love on the Cubs, Pete Crow Armstrong, Eugenio Suarez, the former Seattle Mariner on the Diamondbacks, and Seiya Suzuki with 14. So Cal and, obviously Shohei Ohtani leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else, with Aaron Judge nipping at their heels. And hopefully Cal can keep that torpedo bat going. He's been so hot. And again, a lot of people thought, at this point in his career that maybe Julio would be the guy. But again, you got to have a Jordan to a Pippen. And again, regardless who's Jordan and regardless who's Pippen, we got a dynamic duo. And again, we have to have both rake for us to be able to win on a consistent basis. Let's go Cal Raleigh. Let's go Big Dumper. Batting second, left fielder Randy Arozarena has had a big problem with strikeouts within the last 15, 16, 17 games. He's almost at 30 Ks. We got to get you to be able to find contact, my guy. Let's go, Randy. And batting third, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. On the mound, 2-5 record, ERA of 3.92, Chris Paddock. So again, nothing to be really alarmed about. This is a challenge when you play a team this good, but we're always up for challenges. I like playing good teams. I almost feel like when we play teams that are, lower than us, we play down to the competition and we sometimes lose. So it's nice to be able to play tough teams, regardless if it's the Yankees or the Astros or the Dodgers, or whoever it may be. It'll bring out the best in us, playing the Giants and the Tigers early on as well, even though that was rough for us. In play on the 0-1 pitch, grounds out to the pitcher, throw to first, 1 away. Not the ideal at-bat we want for Big Dumper, but he'll bounce back, you best believe. Trident's up. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Bottom of the second inning, we're knotted here up at 0. Let's go. Let's go, Ems. First pitch, fouled off, low and away by Randy Arozarena, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away, four-seam fastball, getting Randy to chase, behind the count, 0-2. 0-2 pitch, and he strikes out swinging. You got to be able to put him lower in the lineup as well. He doesn't deserve to be in the 5-hole. Polo does not deserve to be in the 2-hole. Let's bring up some of the better players higher in the lineup. Because, again, we need more production. Even if that means bringing Cole Young and Ben Williamson up higher in the order, we got to figure it out. Facts. Down goes Randy with another punch out. Not surprised. Next up, a guy with one swing could turn the game around. First baseman Rowdy Tellez. First pitch to Rowdy. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 0-1 count from Paddock. 0-1 pitch. 5 feet off the plate from Paddock with the changeup. Gets away from him. 83 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rowdy Tellez. Come on, Rowdy. 1-1 pitch. Curveball fouled off. Nice souvenir for a fan there for Rowdy Tellez. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs and nobody on. Come on, Rowdy. Find a way, Rowdy. Let's go, baby. Just foul from that Rowdy pitch. Lou Gehrig Day. You ever go back and watch old school footage of Lou Gehrig? It's amazing. There's not a whole lot of it, but again, amazing to watch. Tellez lines out to third, throw to first, and that is the end of the second inning for the Seattle Mariners. All right, let's go to the top of the third. Looks like we have a pitching duel, and we have to be happy and thankful that Luis Castillo is good this year. We already have injuries to Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and Bryce Miller. Logan Evans has been amazing this year. Brian Wu has been amazing. And Castillo has actually been really good. This is the best season that Castillo has had, since we first brought him in 2022 with the trade from the Reds when we made the playoffs with Cal Raleigh getting that, nice walk-off homer against the Athletics to get us into the playoffs from the first time in 20 plus years. So again, nice to be able to see the good version of La Piedra, because the last thing that we need is 3 injured starters out of 5, and then to have that 4th guy not be good and have only Brian Wu as the only good pitcher. So Wu's good, Castillo is good, and obviously we know Logan Evans is electric. Let's bring him back up. And even Emerson Hancock has been pitching better, than maybe anticipated. And if we're really being honest, I trust Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans more than George Kirby and Bryce Miller now. Now, once those guys get healthy, whether that means later on in the year or next year, then we'll go back to Miller and we'll go back to Kirby. But for right now, both of those guys are injured, and I feel like their mental health has been affected, based off the injury. But we also have to be thankful we have the depth of Emerson Hancock getting better on every start, and we have a G like Logan Evans that we can turn to at any time. So not many teams are going to have 6-7 starting pitchers that are actually good, and we're probably the only team in MLB that could run a 6-man rotation. I know they're probably not going to do it, but Logan Evans, damn it, he deserves to be on this roster, and we'll see where it goes. And it's not like they're going to send Kirby and Miller back, to the IL unless they re-aggravate the injury. But again, we need to be able to have the best guys out there to win, on top of our bullpen obviously being not very good. Next up for Luis Castillo here in the top of the third baseman in the 9-hole, Royce Lewis. First pitch, takes a strike looking, down in the zone, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and away, no, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike to Royce Lewis from Luis Castillo. Let's go, Luis. 1-1 pitch, in play, and Lewis flies out to right, 1 away. Down goes Royce, I like that. Next up, back at the top of the order, right fielder Trevor Larnach. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 likes within the first hour, 50 or more overall. And we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. Let's go. And we're very close to 20. We're at 18. So if you are in the room and haven't done it yet, please do. We have at least 20 people in the room that haven't done it yet. So help us get to 20 so we can hit that algorithm. And then that'll get us more people here in the room, while YouTube will recommend the channel people looking for MLB, Mariners, or Twins. First pitch from Castillo to Larnach, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. David in the building. What's good, brother? Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, we've been doing very well lately, with the views, the subs, the likes, the donos. Things have been on a nice little uptick. And, obviously the better that the Mariners do, the more coverage that we're going to obviously get here as well. 2-1 pitch, low and away. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike to Trevor Larnach. Go, baby. And I appreciate the kind words. I definitely give everything I got on every broadcast. 3-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Low and away. Gets Larnach to bite there on that sinker. Nice pitch by La Piedra. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and nobody on. Top of the third inning. We're knotted up here at 0, and we're looking for the series win. Let's go. Regardless on, the Mariners, if they win or if they lose, I've been following this team for about 40 years. So, again, we haven't really had too many good teams, but lately they're starting to be a pretty consistent thing. 3-2 pitch, and Larnach singles to left. Nice base knock there by Trevor. And now we got to see if we can get a double play with Ryan Jeffers. A little slow dribbler right up the middle to J.P. Crawford, hopefully, and he can throw it to Rowdy, and we can get out of this inning. First pitch from La Piedra to Jeffers. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. Nice job, Luis. But it's just nice to be able to have an OG vet like Castillo, who used to be our best pitcher, but now is probably our third, fourth, sometimes, fifth guy in the rotation. But again, if Castillo is like the fifth, based off talent, that shows you really how deep we really are, because Castillo would be a 1 or a 2 on a lot of teams in MLB. And Jeffers pops out to second base. There we go. Cole Young is there, 2 away, as well as J.P. Crawford. Next up for the Twin Cities, DHing Matt Wallner. Let's go M's, baby. But, we've had, 1995 with Griffey, the 95 slide, 97, the, AL MVP year for Griffey, 2001, Ichiro's rookie year, 2022, Cal Raleigh getting us in the playoffs, and the first time in 20-plus years, and then this year. So if you really count it from 2022 to probably 2042 in that, 20-year span, we should be able to make the playoffs, you would assume, 10 to 14 times. And out of those 10 to 14 times in 20 years, we should hopefully be able to make a World Series or 2. May not win the first time that we get there, but if we continue to keep building the way that we are, we definitely will be off that list as the only team that's never been to a World Series. And again, I can't wait to see what happens with this team moving forward. Very exciting. Best future and the best team that we've constructed in a long, long time. Even though the management and ownership still in free agency, brings in typically the wrong guys. Polo, Garver, even though Polo was good for us this year, and Masterboni and Solano, that was a mistake. 1-1 pitch in play, and Wallner singles to right. Larnach to third. Runners on the corners now with 2 outs. Come on, Mariners. Got to dig deep here. Don't give up any more runs. Next up, shortstop who got ejected yesterday, yelling with the ump, Carlos Correa. So far, Correa 0 for 1. First pitch to Carlos Correa from Luis Castillo. Inside with a slider, 84 miles an hour. Tries to jam the hitter. 1-0 count. All right, we hit 20. Thank you so much. In 37 minutes, the final goal for the stream will be 50, but we hit the algorithm. Thank you so much. We're at 20 likes, 30 more to go before we hit the goal before the stream ends. Appreciate you guys. Runners on the corners at first and third. 1-1 pitch, high and inside with a 4-seam fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Correa. Runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. We need to get out of this inning unscathed, and if we don't, we can only give up a run. And we want to make sure Castillo gives up 3 runs or less, preferably 1 or 0 in 6 innings. But we know Minnesota is a very good hitting team. That'll be difficult. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes with that beautiful 4-seam fastball by Luis Castillo. 1 more strike, we can get out of this inning unscathed. Let's go, Luis. Bring that electricity, baby. Correa in the box. Castillo on the mound. Yeah, Castillo's wheeling and dealing. 95 to 97 on his strong pitches, and then off his off-speed pitches, in the mid-80s to high 80s. 2-2 pitch, low and away with the slider, 85 miles an hour. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on the corners. The best opportunity Minnesota has had up to this point, and we have to be able to shut that down. Let's go. Come on, Castillo. Brian Wu has been the best pitcher for us this year, but Castillo and Gilbert are right there as, next guys in line. And then obviously a guy that's not on the roster right now, Logan Evans. You could say right now Wu is 1, Logan Evans is 2, Logan Gilbert will probably be 3, and then Luis Castillo 4. And then right now Emerson Hancock 5 over George Kirby and Bryce Miller. And Correa grounds out. And there we go. Throw to first, got him. And we end up getting out of the inning Great defense there by the Mariners with runners at first and third with a full count, and Correa has a slow dribbler. Ben Williamson with a rocket arm to first, and we have to be very thankful that we have a guy as good as Big Ben at third. Nice fucking job. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning and see who we have next. Next up for the Mariners, in the 7-hole, right fielder Leody Taveras. Batting second, who made his MLB debut yesterday and came up big with a single, a walk, and a walk-off hit to be able to win the game for the Mariners in 11. One of the bright spots in the franchise, second baseman for the next 5 to 10 years or longer, Cole Young. Been waiting on this guy for years, and it's very exciting. I'll have the same feeling for Harry Ford as catcher, as well as Colt Emerson, who can play shortstop. So can't wait to be able to see those guys get called up as well. But for the time being, Cole Young, we are excited, and things look a lot brighter with you in the lineup, offensively and defensively. And batting third, another stud that we brought up from the Tacoma Rainiers earlier this year, third baseman stud, Ben Williamson. Better at defense than he is at offense. He's cooled off a little bit, but he's still good enough of a hitter to help us win. Let's go, Big Ben. Love the youth movement at second base as well as third, and eventually we'll have it at shortstop, replacing J.P. Crawford maybe in a year or two. And obviously at first base, we are going to be hopefully finding someone a little bit younger than Rowdy Tellez, and obviously someone much, much better than Donovan Solano. We do have Tyler Locklear in AAA, who's kind of the baby Ty France, but again, not probably better than Rowdy at this point, but I'm definitely looking for a youth movement in the infield. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning. We're knotted up at 0. We have a pitcher's duel. Let's go. Let's go, Leody. First pitch in play. Leody Taveras swings and flies out to left. 1 away. Next up, the hero for the Seattle Mariners yesterday and many games moving forward, second baseman Cole Young. Let's go. First pitch to Cole Young, inside, tries to jam the hitter. He is a smart hitter as well. 1-0 count. He's definitely going to be a singles type of hitter. And again, anybody that can get on base, that's what we need. Doesn't have to be a home run hitter. We already have Cal and Julio for that. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike from Paddock to Cole Young. Players 21 or younger with a walk-off in MLB debut. Cole Young this year, and then 4 other players in MLB history. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle with the change up there from Paddock. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cole Young. Let's go, Cole. 1-2 pitch, low and away with a curveball by Paddock. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out from Chris Paddock to Cole Young. Come on, Cole. Bring that electricity, baby. Bottom of the third inning. Paddock on the mound. Cole Young in the box. Nobody on with 1 out. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Paddock to Young. Come on, Cole. With all this amazing talent that we have in the farm, again, Mariners management needs to realize, don't spend any money, on infield, outfield players. Use it only for pitchers, in free agency, and we can draft, plenty of infield, outfield players. We have plenty of them in the farm, and down goes Cole Young, 2 away, but again, we also can draft pitchers better than almost anybody. Little flip with that dribbler and throw to first. Down goes Cole Young, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, third baseman, Ben Williamson. He can do it offensively and give you that energy, and he can definitely do it defensively as well. Great two-way player, best guy that we've had at third since Eugenio Suarez. Good vibes only. Wish the very best for Gino there on the Diamondbacks. Gonna miss him tremendously, but again, the future is here, and again, I love the youth movement. Bottom of the third inning, nobody on with 2 outs. First pitch to Big Ben, takes a strike, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking again right down the middle, behind in the count 0-2 from Paddock. 0-2 pitch, in play, and grounded out to second, throw to first, and that's the end of the third inning. I didn't really know if we were going to have a pitcher's duel. I had a feeling we might, and that looks like the case. We might have to wait for the starters to go out before the game really starts ramping up. All right, let's go to the top of the fourth inning. Gone pretty quickly so far. 3 hits for the Twins, nothing for the Mariners just yet, but I'm not worried. Let's see who's up next here for the Twins. Here in the top of the fourth inning, 0 for 1, left fielder Willie Castro. Batting second baseman, 0 for 1, Cody Clemens. And batting third, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman, 1 for 1, Ty France. Let's go, Ty. Let's go, Mariners. Next up for the Twins here in the top of the fourth, we're almost halfway through the matchup. 0 for 1, Willie Castro. And so far for the pitching staff, we'll go over the stats here after this inning is over and see where everyone is at. First pitch from Luis Castillo to Castro. Tries to jam the hitter at the knees. Big swing and a miss with that slider. 84 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Let's go, Luis. Wheel and deal, baby. Great to see you that you're back on your game. Brian Wu, elite. Castillo, really, really good this year. Logan Evans, a beast. And again, I can't wait to be able to see him get called up again. We need him. Even using Logan Evans in the pen, even though he deserves to be a starter, that could help us tremendously. Because right now, Kirby and Miller aren't good enough to start or be in the pen. Little slow dribbler and throw to first. Down goes Castro, 1 away. Next up for the Twins, Roger Clemens' son, Cody Clemens. 0 for 1. First pitch, low and away with that changeup, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Low and away with the slider, 84 miles an hour. 2 balls and no strikes to Cody Clemens from Luis Castillo. Come on, Luis. Let's go, baby. Take over La Piedra. You've been great. No runs allowed. Only 3 hits within the first 4 innings. Fantastic. 2-0 pitch. Fouled off. Low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Clemens. 2-1 pitch. High and away, 4-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. 3 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Clemens. Come on, Luis, let's go. 3-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away. Count now is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Cody Clemens. Cole in the building, what's good, brother? How are you? Top of the 4th inning, 0-0, Twins and Mariners. And 3-2 pitch, and he walked him. Clemens to first. Now we got to try to get a double play right up the middle by our former boy, first baseman. Used to be on the Seattle Mariners, now on the Twins. Twin City's very own Ty France. First pitch to Ty France, takes a strike looking. With that slider, 84 miles an hour in the zone, 0-1 count. And I'm definitely looking forward to watching the NASCAR Cup Series later today in Nashville, the Cracker Barrel 400. And I'll be on that after this game is over. I'll be spending time with Paisley watching that, and it should be a good one. Top of the fourth inning, runner at first with one out. 1-0 pitch, or 0-1 pitch, excuse me. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count now 0-2 to tie France. 0-2 pitch, high and away with a four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour from Castillo. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. We need a slow dribbler right up the middle for a double play to get out of the top of the fourth. Let's go. Castillo on the mound. Former Seattle Mariner Ty France in the box. Let's go, Luis. 1-2 pitch. Inside, tries to jam the hitter at the hips. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. We're still knotted up at 0 with a pitcher's duel so far. Come on, Luis, settle in. Throw to first to keep him honest. Clemens ends up being safe. Almost got the runner at first there. Clemens barely getting back in with his hand on the bag. Good awareness by Cal and Rowdy there. Top of the fourth inning, runner at first with 1 out. 2-2 pitch, and big swing and a miss. Down goes Ty France. Luis Castillo with another punch out, 2 away. There we go, baby. That's the Luis Castillo. That's the La Piedra that I like, baby. Nice job. Next up for the Twins, center fielder today, Harrison Beta. First pitch to Beta, in there for a strike. And down goes Beta. Here we go, baby. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth inning and see if we can get something going here for Seattle. And a throw to second, and got him, baby. Great defense there from Cal Raleigh to Cole Young. And down goes Clemens trying to steal second. There we go. And then we'll get Bader back in the next inning and his at-bat. Good defense there. Nice job, Cal. Almost getting him at first base, but getting him at second. Getting a little bit too overly aggressive, but we'll take it. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth inning and see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Batting second, 0 for 1, DHing Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo, wake the fuck up. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. Now let's take a quick look at the pitching stats. We typically do that at this point in the matchup. All right, let's take a quick look. Luis Castillo, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks, 64 pitches, 38 strikes, ERA of 3.12. And then on the opposite side, Chris Paddock about to go on the mound. 3 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, 3 Ks, 28 pitches to only, 25 strikes, 3.73 ERA. He's only thrown 3 balls all game, which is wild. And hopefully at some point we're going to be able to get a hit on him. We're hitless so far, but I know we will be able to get going, whether he gets tired in the 5th or once both starters go out, and then the game will pretty much reset and start over. Let's go Mariners. Trident's up. Yeah, but we found a way, and obviously bringing up Cole Young was a great decision. First pitch to J.P. Crawford, low and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, and J.P. Nice hit to left. Go, go, go. Nice single there by J.P. Crawford. Way to get going early, my guy. Nice single by J.P. We're in the bottom of the fourth, and that's the first hit of the game for the Mariners. Nice job. Next up, DHing Jorge Polanco, and hopefully this will carry over to Polo as well. Let's go, Polo. If JP can do it, let's see if you can do it. First pitch from Paddock to Polo. Fouled it off high and away. Four-seam fastball, 91 miles an hour by Chris Paddock. 0-1 count. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're 8 away from 30. And obviously, we try to get to 50 on every stream. We're at 22. We got about half the people in the room that have done it so far. Do your boy a solid. Help us get to a good number here today. 0-1 pitch, in play. And Polo lines out to center. 1 away. And we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. Next up for the Mariners with 1 out and a runner at first, JP. 0 for 1 with a K. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Struggled in March and April. Had a fantastic May. And I assume that he'll have a fantastic June and July as well. Trident's up. Let's go, Julio. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez. Low and at the knees with the changeup. 84 miles an hour. 1-0 count. Bottom of the fourth inning, runner at first with 1 out. We're knotted up at 0 with a pitcher's duel. 1-0 pitch, high and inside with the four-seam fastball. 2 balls and no strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. 2-0 pitch, big swing and a miss on that slider in the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike from Paddock to Julio. Well, you know, Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge are going to end up winning the home run title, you know, most years. It's nice to be able to see someone new, you know, join the party. So, you know, the Dodgers have a great team and they always spend a lot of money. You know, and Ohtani is definitely one of the best players, if not the best overall player in MLB. You know, but Cal Raleigh, you know, he's definitely showing that, hey, you know, catchers can do it too. 2-1 pitch, fouled off by Julio right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first, J.P. Crawford, and 1 out. Paddock on the mound, Julio in the box. But it's pretty cool to know that we have like the best of something. Like we have the best catcher in baseball on the Seattle Mariners. We got arguably the best closer in baseball in Andrés Munoz. So, you know, it's not often you're going to have the best of something in a team in Seattle. I mean, besides when we had Ken Griffey Jr. or like Randy Johnson or Ichiro or Edgar Martinez. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Paddock on the mound, Julio in the box. But Shohei and Cal both have something in common. They can do something that other players can't. Obviously, Shohei is the ultimate, being able to hit and pitch effectively. And we assume that he will get back to form as being a top 20 pitcher. Once he ends up being healthy and they allow him to do that particular role. And sometimes he's even as good as a top 10. But then with Cal, it's all about the leadership and the power, being able to hit from the left and the right and just being a catcher. And Julio with the walk. We'll take that. Good eye by Julio Rodriguez, not forcing it there. Next up, with runners at first and second, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Tied with Shohei Ohtani with 22 home runs in MLB. And right now, Cal is pacing for 60 to 65 home runs with Ohtani. Wild. First pitch, low and away. Changeup by Paddock, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. We'll take singles. Hey, but we'll take home runs any day. Let's go, Big Dumper. Bring that electricity, baby. One pitch. Pitches inside. Tries to jam the hitter tight. High and tight with the 4-seam fastball by Paddock. 2 balls and 1 strike to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Yeah, but also, too, to go, 6 games in out of a 162-game season. So literally to go, a third of the season before your first fuck up is phenomenal. You knew it was going to happen at some point or another. Two-one pitch, and takes a strike looking right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Paddock to Big Dumper. Come on, Cal. Bottom of the 4th inning. 2-2 pitch, and big swing and a miss. Paddock has got Cal's number, but once Paddock goes out, Cal hopefully will be able to start raking in his last 2 at-bats. He is the most clutch hitter on the Seattle Mariners in the 7th inning and beyond. Rare punch out for Cal, but that's okay. 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K, a guy that has had a real serious problem with striking out. Going into 2 games back, in the last 15 games, he had 25 Ks and a few more added on to that in the last 2 games. He's getting close to 30, punch outs in like 17 games. That's way too many. And hopefully Randy can come up big. Now, a few days ago, he did hit a home run and kind of got off the schneid after not hitting one for a long time, but definitely not a good contact hitter and a little bit lazy in left field. Doesn't really show a lot of hustle and effort, but every once in a while will make a fantastic play like he did yesterday, with the diving catch and a throw to second, and getting a big out, for the Mariners. He'll do that from time to time. I just wish he would show that hustle and energy every play, every day. Facts. First pitch from Paddock to Randy, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. High and away with the 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by Paddock. 2 balls and no strikes to Randy Arozarena. I don't know if you're going to be here for a little bit or for a while, but Captain is moving, so he's not being able to help me with lead mod duties. If you could help me with the likes and the donos on the channel, Cole, while you're here, I would appreciate it. Unless you're leaving in a minute or 2. But if you're going to be here for a little while, that would help. So that way we can get to 50 likes and have a better chance to be able to hit our dono goal as well. End of the 4th inning as Randy Arozarena gets out again. What's new? Line drive and then a little throw to first to get Randy. And that's the end of the 4th inning. Let's go to the top of the 5th inning and see who's up next here for the Twins. Next up for the Twins, 8-hole hitter, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder Harrison Beda. Batting second, third baseman in the 9-hole, 0 for 1, Royce Lewis. And batting third, back at the top of the order, 1 for 2, right fielder Trevor Larnach. Let's go Mariners. Congrats on the new job. So it looks like we're at 27 likes. We need 23 to go to hit the goal for the stream to get to 50. And then obviously we're looking for our first dono on our dono train. And now let's take a quick look at Paddock's stats after finishing that inning. It's been very good. Considering he's got a 2-5 record at 3.92 ERA, you wouldn't be able to tell that today. He's got Seattle on a 1-hitter. JP with just that 1 hit so far for the Mariners. All right, so for Paddock, 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 46 pitches, 34 strikes. And he was at, 28 pitches, 25 strikes? So he only had 3 balls up to that inning. And then that was the inning where we finally got to him a little with a hit. But we're still waiting on the big hit the big home run, but we may have to wait till he goes out. All right, Castillo on the mound. First pitch to Harrison Bader. Low and away with a four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Four-seam fastball right down the middle, 94 miles an hour by Luis Castillo. 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Bader. One pitch, low and at the knees with the sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Bader. Heidi in the building. What's good? Two-one pitch. Pitch is high and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Bader. Three-one pitch. Fouled off right down the middle by Bader. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with no outs and nobody on. Top of the 5th, we're knotted up at 0, and it's been a pitcher's duel between Paddock and Castillo. And again, sometimes, games are going to be like this. And, for the Mariners, the longer that Castillo can go, the less chance that we have to blow this game with a bullpen, individual coming in and blowing the game for us. 3-2 pitch in play. And Bader lined out to center to Julio Rodriguez. 1 away. Good defense, Julio. No fly zone in full effect. Let's go. Nice job, J-Rod. What a diving catch by Julio. Beautiful. Next up, third baseman Royce Lewis. First pitch from Castillo to Lewis. Low and away with a slider. 84 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Let's go, Castillo. He's been absolutely shredding it so far today. One-0 pitch. Low and away with the slider. 2 balls and no strikes from Castillo to Lewis. At T-Mobile, it's not Safeco anymore, but at T-Mobile, it's the hardest park to hit at. So not just for Seattle players, but for any team that comes in. So, we just have to be able to, keep bringing up guys from the farm and, making adjustments along the way. And we've had a lot of injuries this year as well. So we'll see where it goes between both teams as Lewis strikes out swinging, 2 away. But it's different, when we were on our 9 consecutive series win streak, we were averaging 6 runs a game. Now we're of 1 to 3 runs. Hard to win games in the MLB, only getting 1 to 3, and then every 4th to 5th game we explode for 5 to 10. But if the bullpen is one of the worst in MLB, just based off talent and production, it makes it tough, on the starting pitching and the hitters. More pressure on them. First pitch to Trevor Larnach is low and away with the sinker, 1-0 count. Castillo on the mound, wheeling and dealing, just like Paddock, and Larnach in the box with a 1-0 count. Top of the 5th, nobody on with 2 outs. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Larnach. One pitch, fouled off high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Larnach. Still on the, IL. I mean, we're probably not going to see Ryan Bliss, or Victor Robles, down the road. But again, we'll see what happens with Luke Raley. His tentative timetable is June 13th. Logan Gilbert, June 8th. And then obviously Trent Thornton in the pen, who's terrible, June 6th. He could stay there for as long as I care. And then Cade Marlowe, June 7th. But, I don't think they really have a need for Cade Marlowe. They can just send him to AAA. And then obviously Logan Gilbert and Luke Raley are the big ones. Obviously besides Victor Robles, but he may not be ready until like September, October. So like right when we're looking to try to win the division over the Stros, or trying to make that ALDS, ALCS, or World Series run this year. But it won't be until very, very late, and at that point, if he has a setback, we may not see Victor Robles till next year. You don't want to jeopardize his career bringing him back too early. 2-2 pitch, fouled off. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Larnach. Full count. Three-two pitch, and Larnach singled to right. Nice little base knock there by Trevor. I see you, Trevor. Next up, catcher 0 for 2 with a K, Ryan Jeffers. Yeah. But I think one thing is for sure, if you're a Houston fan, the team isn't the same. Without Alex Bregman and without Kyle Tucker, you guys really aren't the same team anymore. And that's why the Mariners are kind of able to take advantage. You guys normally would run the division for years and years and years. And, if it wasn't you guys, it would be the Rangers for that one year, and, there's a little bit of a shift, in the division now. And again, you still got Altuve, you still got Jeremy Pena. Those guys are great. Yordan Alvarez has been pretty much injured for a good chunk of this, first 50 to 55 games, so you haven't been able to use him. But when you had all big five, Altuve, Pena, Yordan Alvarez, Bregman, and Tucker, you guys were very hard to beat with the pitching staff, even though they started off slow last year and got hot at the end, but the team isn't really as, the same team really. It's not built the same way. You're not going to be able to win the same kind of games, where Bregman and Tucker bailed you guys out many, many times late. So, I wish the best of luck to you, but we're going for the division crown. We've been waiting long enough, and it's our time. It's our year. Bottom of the 5th inning. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. But it'll still be a 3-team race, it looks like, and then obviously, Angels and Athletics, they're still kind of on the bottom end, but, the A's started off strong, and then the Athletics kind of hit a wall and lost 10-plus games in a row. So instead of keeping up with Seattle and Houston, they've kind of fallen back, but again, we would assume the Angels are the worst team in the division. Athletics, they may, be at the bottom record-wise from time to time, but I think talent level-wise, they're a little bit better than the Angels. And then, Rangers, Astros, and Mariners will be battling it out, and for us, we're the most banged up team in MLB besides the Braves. So, think about how many teams, if they had their, top 3 pitchers out of 5 injured in the starting rotation, most teams wouldn't be able to have an above 500 record. And on top of that, no Ryan Bliss, no Victor Robles, no Luke Raley, so we've had a lot of fucking injuries on top of, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Bryce Miller. But I like our chances of competing, not only for the AL West crown, but to be able to make a deep run this year. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning and see who's up next for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. Batting second, right fielder Leody Taveras. And batting third, making his MLB debut yesterday, coming up big with a single, a walk, and a obviously game-winning walk-off hit, Cole Young. Let's go. Daniel in the building, what's good? Yeah, but a lot of those guys that you're mentioning haven't been on the team in a while. Correa, Springer, Verlander, Cole. It's been years since those guys were on the team. I mean, that's when you guys were in your heyday. But we're just talking about even last year. If you still had Tucker and Bregman, you guys would probably be in first place right now, and we'd be like nipping at your heels. But losing those two key components and not having Jordan healthy has hurt you guys. And Tellez pops up, one away. I mean, I follow everything that's going on in the division, let alone the Mariners. So I'm very in tune on what's going on with your guys' organization. Next up is Leody Taveras. Paddock pitching a gem. Same thing with Luis Castillo. First pitch from Paddock to Leody. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Inside. Tries to jam the hitter with a four-seam fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Paddock to Taveras. One pitch, fouled off. Tries to jam the hitter there on the line with the slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Leody Taveras. Come on, Leody. Bottom of the 5th inning, still knotted up at 0. Daniel in the building. What's good? And Taveras grounds out to second, throw to first, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, second baseman, Cole Young. Let's go, Cole. First pitch to Cole Young, takes a strike looking in the zone, 0-1 count. Well, if the organization that you guys don't pay anybody, well, the Mariners pay people, but we pay the wrong people. Bringing guys like Polo and Garver, even though Polo was good for us at the beginning of the year, now he's batting 100. And I don't even know if he can be our DH anymore. In the last 15 to 17 games, Garver's terrible. Solano's terrible. Masterboni is average. So, instead of using all that money for positional players that we have in the farm, you should have used that money for the bullpen. Getting more pitchers that are starters and moving them into the pen, or getting relief pitchers from other teams and adding them to the squad. But, maybe they'll learn, moving forward. And Young strikes out swinging, and down goes Cole Young. And we're at the end of the 5th inning. We got to go to the top of the 6th, and we'll see what we get here in the next inning, and hopefully we'll get some more hits and RBIs and occasional home run here and there, but we got to wait for both starting pitchers to go out. Paddock is with a 1-hitter, Castillo with a 4-hitter, and again, it's been a pitcher's duel up to this point. Let's go to the top of the 6th inning and see who's up next here for the Twins. Next up for the Twins, 1 for 1 with a base on ball. DHing for the Twin Cities, Matt Wallner. Batting second, 0 for 2, shortstop, Carlos Correa. And batting third, 0 for 2, left fielder, Willie Castro. Let's go Mariners. Yeah, but we've actually made a lot of changes too. Edgar Martinez, coming in to be able to help the team out with Seitzer. So obviously the philosophy has changed with hitting, because you got to think in the last couple years when you guys were dominating the division with the Rangers, we were like one of the worst teams as far as team batting average, 180 to 220, and we never really got above that. And normally it was hovering around 200 or just under. And we were the number 1 strikeout team in baseball for years and years and years. And now we're not. So now it feels good to actually be able to be like a, top 5 hitting team. Yeah, the injuries have hurt us. And obviously our bullpen sucks. We got one guy that we can trust, Matt Brash, maybe Gabe Spire now as of late. But as far as everyone else, not trustworthy. We do got, arguably one of the best guys in, for a closer, and Andres Munoz, even though he had a, kind of a fuck up, just recently, but, it took, 50 plus games for him to have his first fuck up. So I would say that's pretty elite. And, we do have the best catcher in baseball with Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. And if he, is going to be able to give us, these type of hits, RBIs, home runs, defense, leadership, we have a very good chance on, not only winning the division, but being competitive for years to come. Top of the 6th inning, 0-0 Twins and Mariners. Castillo first pitch to Wallner, right down the middle, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, outside for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike to Matt Wallner. 1-1 pitch, and popped up, and 2 away. Julio Rodriguez in the no-fly zone out there. I see you. 2 outs. Next up, 0 for 2, shortstop Carlos Correa. First pitch from Castillo to Correa, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. No, because the thing is that, if you think that the pitchers are only good in Seattle, you can watch to see what they do when they go on the road. Sometimes they're going to do well, just like your team, but, it's not that, even though it's a hard park to hit at, it's not that, the pitching staff is only good at home. We can win on the road too. I mean, I'm not a casual fan. I've been following this team for 40 years. I'm probably older than you, so. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Correa. 1-2 pitch. High and away. Fouled off by Correa. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. 1-2 pitch. Correa popped up. And Cole Young is there, 2 away. Down goes Carlos Correa. Next up, left fielder Willie Castro. Let's go, Castillo. You've been fantastic. Obviously, Paddock has been slightly better, but it's not like you've given up that big home run, or those big back-to-back-to-back hits, that ends up leading to a key RBI in the matchup. Both pitchers have been magnificent today. And again, once both of them go out, whether that be in the 7th inning or here in the 6th, obviously, let's look at pitch count here to see where they're at. So Castillo right now is at, Castillo's day's almost done. He's already at 93. So he won't be able to go probably the next inning. And where's Paddock at? Paddock is at, 56. Wow. That's what happens when you're wheeling and dealing and you don't really have a whole lot of, batters to worry about. Almost like that Logan Evans start that we had when he pitched 8 innings for us. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Castro. Top of the 6th inning, we're knotted up at 0. 1-2 pitch. High and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 6th, 0-0 Twins and Mariners. Paddock, obviously, with a 1-hitter. And Castro got him. There we go. Luis Castillo punches him out. Nice job by Luis, and that'll probably be his last pitch, as we go into the 7th inning, unless they want him to go over 100, which I highly doubt. He's at 97 pitches. But again, our bullpen has been so shaky. I wouldn't mind if he went out there in the 7th inning, but that'll be a decision for Dan Wilson and the coaching staff. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning and see if we can get some fucking hits here. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, third baseman, Big Ben Williamson. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a K, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 0 for 2, DHing Jorge Polanco. And again, a guy that was batting 350 to 450 at the beginning of the year with 10 homers. Last 15, 16, 17 games, he's been batting about 100. And again, if his injury is more serious than he's leading on, we need to send him to the IL or just not have him be our DH. there's got to be someone else that we can put in there like Dylan Moore that can get us more results, because Polo, you ain't it, at least not lately. Jeremy in the building, what's good? Anna in the building, what's good? Yeah, I'm always going to evaluate, different fans from, different areas, but it's going to be tough for Mariner fans and Astro fans to get along. Let's be real, Jeremy in the building, Andrea in the building, Anna in the building. But, as soon as some slander comes out, I'll be patient to a certain degree, but there won't be any slander or disrespect here. You may be able to do that on other streams and get away with it because, other hosts, they don't care about keeping the chat on a good level. They just want likes, subs, views, donos, and they don't care if the stream is toxic or not. But I will not allow a toxic stream, period. Bottom of the 6th inning, 0-0, Twins and Mariners. And it's been a pitcher's duel. Luis Castillo is pitching a 4-hitter. And Paddock is pitching a 1-hitter. So JP is the only guy to have a hit. So something's got to give. We got to either drop some bunts down, but once Paddock goes out, I know the bats will come alive. And same thing, obviously if Castillo pitched his last pitch, 97, I know that they don't like guys going over 100, but with our bullpen being so shaky, I wouldn't mind him coming out, for the 7th inning, unless we can have like Brash pitch, for a couple. Or getting, if we go Brash, Spire, Munoz, if we go like that kind of route, we'll see. But bottom of the 6th inning, and Paddock on the mound, Williamson in the box. 2-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Big Ben Williamson. Anna in the building, Jeremy in the building, Andrea in the building. What's good? Let's go, Big Ben. Got a couple new photos for the stream as well. I like the new background during the day here for T-Mobile as well. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Big Ben Williamson. If you've noticed, we haven't been getting plunked lately. We haven't been bunting lately. We haven't been getting walked lately. We need to find ways to get on base. And again, if the hitters are having a hard time on a pitcher, we got to think outside the box. And again, not every swing has to be a moonshot swing. Sometimes just getting contact is the best way to go. And Williamson goes down 1 away. Still love you, Big Ben. Next up, shortstop JP Crawford. Told y'all he was going to get that 5th homer, and he came up big yesterday. Let's see if JP can keep that Uncle Mo and that momentum going. And even dropping a bunt down at this at-bat, it wouldn't bother me either. We're going to have to think outside the box. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike to JP Crawford. Paddock is pitching a gem here against the Mariners. 1-1 pitch, inside, tries to jam the hitter with the slider. 2 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. Two 2-1 pitch in play, and JP lines out to center, 2 away. Next up, in the 2-hole, who should be demoted to probably the 7-hole or not playing at all, Jorge Polanco. I actually think, switching Dylan Moore to our DH would be better for us. That is probably the best player that doesn't play every day. Leo Rivas ended up going down to AAA to make room, for Cole Young. And obviously we know Legumina went down after giving up 6 runs in the 10th, and they sent him down. But I think Dylan Moore, other than a guy like Luke Raley who's injured, those guys need to play. And again, Polo was good at the beginning of the year, but again, in the last 15 to 17 games, he's batting 100. And on top of that, he's not getting walked. He's not getting plunked. He's just not getting on base. He's just striking out, popping up, and grounding out. And it's a waste of that bat. We need to figure out, what's going on. Either send him to the IL with an injury or just don't play him and play Dylan Moore instead. Just saying. It would be better for us. Or call up Harry Ford, and then he could be the guy. he can be the backup catcher better than Garver, and he can DH. 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. 2-1 pitch. Low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike to Polo. Curveball, 78 miles an hour by Paddock, wheeling and dealing. Bottom of the 6th. We're knotted up at 0 with a pitcher's duel, but at least Luis Castillo has been pitching great this year. Wu is our gem. He's been the best, right? Logan Gilbert was pretty good, obviously before he got hurt, right? And then we know Logan Evans, has been pitching like he's the number 2 or, number 3 guy right there with Logan Gilbert and Brian Wu. Logan Evans. Hancock has been better. And really, George Kirby and Bryce Miller are our worst 2 pitchers. And again, it's like, we never expected those guys to get hurt. But again, those guys hurt, they're not worth, playing. And again, Polo is not reliable, as you can see. And, at some point or another, things will turn around. But we said, hey, we need to demote Polo lower in the lineup. And then the Mariners listened, right? And they took him to the 7-hole for a game. But then they brought him back up into the 2-hole. Again, the whole point of having a DH is a designated hitter. What do? They hit. They don't play defense. All they do is hit. So why are we playing a guy that's batting 100 in the last month at that spot? You got to be able to think, okay, do we have another guy that potentially could be better? And obviously you paid the money for Polo, and Donovan Solano and Mastroboni and Garver, but those 4 guys that we brought in, they're all terrible. Again, Mastroboni might be the best one, and at very best, he's average. He's not good, so we have to figure it out, and hopefully when Luke Raley comes back, we can use him at DH or Dylan Moore. But I'm kind of done with this Polo experiment at DH. We need to send him to the IL. If he's got an injury, just be honest about it, because obviously something's going on. And then that way we can actually wait till you get healthy, Kirby, Miller, Polo. And once they get healthy, then we can put you back in. But, playing while you're hurt, or if you're physically and mentally fucked, you're hurting the team. We need to be able to keep gaining ground on the Astros and the Rangers, Athletics and the Angels. If we keep playing players that are injured or bad, and we have better options on the bench, our lead division, win streak and trying to be able to advance is going to be much tougher. Top of the 7th inning. Let's see who's up next here for the Twins. Next up for the Twins, 0 for 1 with a base on ball. Roger Clemens' son, second baseman Cody Clemens. Batting second, the former Seattle Mariner first baseman Ty France. And batting third, center fielder Harrison Bader. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 50 likes before the stream ends. We're still waiting for our first dono on our dono train. So hopefully someone can help us out there as well. And we're knotted up here at 0 with a pitcher's duel. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs. And, obviously 5 punch outs to 2 walks for Luis, which is good. 97 pitches, first pitch strikes, 12 for 23. Great job by Luis Castillo. And again, I was hoping that he'd give up 3 runs or less. He gave up none. So again, Mariners bats have to come alive. And we got Edward Bizardo entering the matchup here against Clemens. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-2 count from Bizardo to Clemens. Yeah, Harry Ford can definitely DH, and he's a better catcher than Garver. But again, it's just the experience that Garver has, maybe the reason why they haven't made that switch yet. But I'm hoping that they bring up Harry Ford within a month or two, before we hit the playoffs, because he could really help us out. He's got good baseball IQ, and again, Colt Emerson, he's not ready yet, as well as Lazaro Montez, Feldman, Celestin, Durangelo, the switch pitcher from the left and the right. So we got another 10 guys that are in the top 10 of the top 100 in the farm. And we are the number 1 farm system team in MLB. But Harry Ford has been raking. And again, just like Cole Young, he can make an impact. And hopefully we bring up Harry sooner than later. You can drop off Mastroboni. You could drop off Solano. You could drop off Garver. There's plenty of guys that you could drop off, but preferably Solano. That would be the one that we don't really need. Holding the team back. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bizardo to Clemens. 2-2 pitch. Clemens popped up, and Randy Arozarena is there, 1 away. Next up for the Minnesota Twins, 1 for 2 with a K, former Seattle Mariner first baseman, Ty France. We actually have, a very, wide variety. It's, normally around 18. There always will be some floaters from 10 to 17 years old, but usually around 18 to 20, is typically around the youngest. But the oldest people that we typically have are around 80 to 90, and again, we have people all over the globe. So 2 away. Nice job, Bizzardo. But we have quite a few people that are 50 and up, 60 and up, 70 and up, and even a couple that are in their 80s and 90s, believe it or not. So, and then there's a lot of people that are in the chat that, they don't comment. So they're just watching. So we may not really know how high that goes. I mean, it might end up being even someone, that's in the hundreds. But again, we have 87% male, 13% female, and 66% of the people on the channel are from the United States. But we have Venezuela, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Canada, Philippines, Japan, Taiwan, Colombia, Nicaragua, New Zealand, Australia, and that's just to name a couple, out of the list that watch this channel. So, and we have about 2,400 regular visitors that come on the daily. So it's a nice thing. We're definitely growing. And the better that the Seattle Mariners do, the better the channel will do as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs in the top of the 7th from Bizzardo to Bader. But I like being able to have a little bit of a mix of young, middle-aged, and a little bit of the OGs, because you can learn a lot from people, young and old, and people in your same age group. So I know I look, young and whatnot, but, again, I've been following this team for almost 40 years. So, if you take care of yourself, exercise, eat right, you can make your life last a little bit longer. Pitches outside and fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Bader. Top of the 7th inning, knotted up at 0, pitchers duel, Castillo and Paddock. And Castillo's day is done. And again, great job, because again, we already know the pitching has been a little suspect for the bullpen, but our starters have been really good. Besides George Kirby and Bryce Miller, everyone else has been good. All right, we get out of the inning. Nice job by Bizzardo. And it looks like Bizzardo is even stepping up. Obviously Legomina gave up the 6 runs in game number 1 in the 10th and got sent down to AAA. But we got to find a way to get Logan Evans back on the roster. We can even use him as a bullpen guy. Mariners got to think outside the box. It's not that just Logan Evans is a starter. And again, he should still start, but at the very least, he should be on the roster and then be used in the pen, especially if we only have like Brash and Spire that we really trust. Bizzardo has been pretty good this last couple games, but that doesn't mean he'll be good 2 games from now. We could always add another stud, and again, I don't know if Bryce Miller or George Kirby are going to be good this year. This year might be a wash for both of them, but be blessed and be thankful that we got Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock, to replace those 2 guys if needed. We can still win without, Kirby and Miller, which is kind of a crazy thing to say, but we've been doing it all year. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and this is usually the inning where we start to rake. Starting pitching goes out. We're one of the top 3 teams in MLB in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and we can get an explosion of 1 to 4 runs in any given inning. And even if we only win 1-0, we'll take the dub, but we still have a good chance to get 3 to 4 runs. All it takes is 1 good inning. Let's see who's up here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a base on ball and a K, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Trident's up. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Number 1 in home runs, pacing for 60 to 65, tied with Shohei Ohtani with 22. Unbelievable. We got our own Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge in Seattle. Big dumper, baby. Let's go. And batting third, another guy that needs to be benched or needs to figure it out, left fielder Randy Arozarena. But right now, Polo and Randy are a liability. I can't wait until Luke Raley comes back, and Dylan Moore should be playing for one of those guys. Even if you put Demo in left, again, I feel like you're going to get more offensively and defensively, but again, Randy is a name, and sometimes, it gets kind of political, based off salary or name recognition. But at the end of the day, it's not what they did at the beginning of the year, Polo. It's what are you doing now? What are you doing for me now lately? And again, Randy and Polo have been ice cold, and I can't wait till Luke Raley comes back, and maybe we can replace those two guys for Raley and more. Not long term, but short term, and see if it works out a little bit better for us, or call up Harry Ford and get another bat, and another defensive player that can help us win. It's like you got all these amazing pieces in the farm. You just can't let them sit there forever, especially if we're having problems hitting. Like, hello, wake up. We have a roster amount, on like how many players that you can have active on the roster. And unfortunately, we have some guys in the bullpen that shouldn't even be on the team. And that's taking some of the spots for guys like a Logan Evans to automatically be on the team. It was bad juju for him to pitch 8 innings and have one of the best games of any Seattle Mariner pitcher in the last couple years. And then what do? You send him down to AAA, not to his doing. He didn't do anything wrong. You just had to make room for another guy, but that was not good juju, for the Mariners there. And, again, Solano, I think it's more based off the salary that they gave him. And a lot of times that's not going to be something they're going to mention, in the media. But sometimes if you end up picking up a guy for, X amount of dollars, millions of dollars, they want to be able to see it through instead of just looking in the mirror and saying, oops, we fucked up. We signed the wrong guy. And then, if they were smart, they would just cut him, or send him to AAA. But, for whatever reason, they haven't done it. And if I had to take a guess, it's because of his salary, They don't want to look like they are dumb and they made the wrong decision, by, cutting a guy like 50 some games in, after overpaying him. And he was a 280 hitter for the Padres, but again, not a good fit here on our team. 0-2 pitch, low and away to Julio Rodriguez. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Paddock to Julio. Four likes away from 40. Let's get there. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We need 14 likes to hit 50 for the goal. And Julio strikes out swinging. 1 away. Next up, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. 22 home runs. That's number 1 in MLB with Shohei Ohtani in the National League. Torpedo bat engaged. Let's go. There it is. Back. See ya. Cal Raleigh homers to right and is the MLB leader in home runs with 23. Tridents up. Get you a Cal Raleigh if you don't got one. And guess what? You're not going to, because he's the best catcher in baseball, and he's ours in Seattle. 1-0 Mariners. Tridents up. Let's go, baby. Back. See ya. Man, Cal is really doing something special. And again, we know how good Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge is. We're talking MVP Cal Raleigh. And you got to think, the Dodgers would still be a playoff team without Shohei Ohtani. With the Yankees, would they be, a playoff team without Aaron Judge? Maybe not. But with the Mariners, if we didn't have Cal Raleigh, we wouldn't even have an above 500 record. Let's go. Cal Raleigh doing big things, leading the MLB in homers with 23, pacing for 65 home runs. Maybe if he keeps it up, he'll be pacing for 70. Right now, he's pacing for 60 to 65. And we're not, this is crazy. Like the last time that we've seen someone this good was Ken Griffey Jr., and he was a center fielder. This is a catcher doing this. It's wild. And Randy Arozarena, wow, what a catch there by Correa, sliding there on the turf or on the dirt. 2 away. Curveball said, see ya. Next up is Rowdy Tellez. And that was on Paddock too. You know, it wasn't on one of the other pitchers, so that feels good. First pitch to Rowdy Tellez, takes a strike looking. Inside, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Tries to jam the hitter at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rowdy Tellez. Come on, Rowdy. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Big dumper with a solo jack, Cal Raleigh. And again, MVP. You know, right now it's Shohei Ohtani in the National League, Cal Raleigh in the American League. And then below Cal Raleigh will be Aaron Judge. But I don't even know if you can put Aaron Judge and Cal in the same category. Judge is great, you know, but one guy's got 23 homers, the other's got 19. And he just passed Shohei Ohtani for number 1 in MLB. Shohei's got 22, Cal 23. Wild. Let's go. And it shows you if you do have a good catcher, elite catcher, it really does transform the team. Johnny Bench with the Reds, Buster Posey with the Giants, Mike Piazza with the Mets and the Dodgers, right? Pudge Rodriguez with the Rangers. So again, we got our, you know, and I know a lot of people thought this might be like Julio, you know, when we first got him, that he would turn into Ken Griffey Jr. 2.0. And even though he may be our Pippen and Cal's our Jordan, you know, that's okay. You're going to need, you know, that Pippen to be able to go hand in hand with the Jordan. And, you know, Michael Jordan right now is Cal Raleigh. Let's go. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Count still. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Paddock to Tellez. Two pitch. Tries to jam the hitter there. Low and away. Count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Paddock to Tellez. Yeah, and the thing is, though, you know, it's not, you know, just about the money, you know, but it's you know, whether the player gets it or not, it's just about looking like a fool. Like, you know, spending the money in the off season and then cutting the guy after giving him the contract or the money, as Tellez singles to right, you know. And again, we know the Mariners, you know, they should every year they should be spending money on, you know, 2 to 4 guys in the pen. They don't need to worry about infield and outfield. We got that in the farm, you know, and if they would have used the money instead of on Solano and Mastroboni and use that money on 2 guys that were starters that we could move into the pen, or 2 relievers that we steal from other teams, that would make the team that much better. We don't need, quote unquote, these other guys. And once these other guys come to the team, most of them can't hit. I mean, the only guy out of 4 guys in the last 2 years that could hit was Jorge Polanco, but it took him into his 2nd year. And now, you know, obviously 50 games in, Polo's batting 100. You know, when he was batting 350 to 450. So I do believe he's nursing an injury that he's not being honest about. You know, it's, you know, either that surgically repaired knee or the hips, you know, something's going on with him. But, you know, again, Garver, terrible. Mastroboni, average. Solano, terrible. And Polo was amazing at the beginning of the year, our best player, but since then has faded and gotten cool and cold, and now is a liability with Randy Arozarena, you know, as far as, you know, being high in the batting order. You can't really count on them to do anything besides get out lately, if we're really being honest. Bottom of the 7th inning, runner at first, 1-0 Mariner lead. Paddock still in the game. Leody Taveras in the box. First pitch to Leody, fouled off, 0-1 count. Let's go, Leody. Yeah, and then what makes it even cooler than anything, that, you know, that Cal is a catcher. And not only is he a catcher, he's a great leader. And on top of that, he's a switch hitter. On top of that, he can hit home runs from both sides. There is not a weak hand or a, you know, left or right? And he's a great defensive player. Like, literally, he does everything that you would want and more. We've never seen a catcher like this ever in MLB. You know, like, again, normally when you have a switch hitter, if they're normally naturally a lefty, right, then normally when they go to righty, the drop-off is insane. But with Cal, it's not. You know, there might be a slight drop-off with some stats, you know, but not much. And he can still hit 2 home runs from the right just as easy as 2 home runs from the left, or 1 from the left and 1 from the right. And he's been breaking records left and right here in 2025. And again, when it's all said and done, if Cal is on the team for 15, 20 years, he may be, going down in history as one of the best catchers of all time. Going with Yogi Berra and Johnny Bench and, down that line of Pudge Rodriguez's and Buster Posey's. And again, it's still, we're in the first, part of his career. But, for a guy that averaged 30 to 35 home runs, not using a torpedo bat, and then now has the opportunity to get 50 to 65 home runs, in the first year of the torpedo bat, lefty and righty. I can't wait to see what the future brings. It's amazing to be able to have a Ken Griffey Jr., on the team now. It's awesome. And he's a catcher. 1-2 pitch. And down goes Leote, striking out swinging. End of the 7th inning, but the damage was done. Paddock, you did a fantastic job up until big dumper Cal Raleigh. And again, it's hard for anybody to get Cal out. And thankfully, Cal was able to connect on that deep ball. Homered to right, 362 feet, 1-0 Mariners. And we only have 3 hits for the day, but that one was as important as ever. Let's go, big dumper. Way to be, baby. Let's go. Let's go to the top of the 8th inning and see who's up next for the Twins. Again, they don't need to sign anybody, like I said, infield or outfield. The only money the Mariners should ever be spending is on relief pitching, ever. We already have the starting pitching. Durangelo, when he's ready, he's going to be the new Woo Logan Evans. He'll be our 5 when he's ready, pitching from the left and the right. That's going to be the guy that will be in the starting rotation at some point, And so, it sucks that Gilbert and Kirby and Miller got hurt, but it really does show you the depth that we have. And again, we have plenty of guys in the infield and the outfield that we can plug from the farm. Lazaro Montes can play right field. Colt Emerson can take JP his job when he's ready. Obviously, Cole Young is second base, so we got him there for the next 5 to 10 years. Ben Williamson, same thing at third. And I'm looking for that young guy at first. And if they don't think Tyler Locklear, baby Ty France, is better than Donovan Solano or Rowdy Tellez, at some point, hopefully we can get a good first baseman that's young. And then obviously, really the only other weakness is right field. Leody Taveras is not Victor Robles, but he's a poor man's Victor, but at least he's doing, I would say, average, kind of like Mastroboni. Not the greatest, but, not terrible. He's not a liability. And then hopefully we can get Randy to start hustling, and if we can get all those things to happen, we'll be back in business. Let's go to the top of the 8th and see who's up next here for the Twins. Matt Brash entering the matchup. First pitch, takes a strike looking to Brooks Lee. 0-1 count. Let's go, Brash. My favorite guy in the pen. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 50 likes before the stream ends. And we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. We're in the 8th inning. Show some love. 1-1 pitch in play, and Lee singles to left in the top of the 8th. Come on, Matt, settle in. Next up for the Twins, 2 for 3, right fielder today, Trevor Larnach. There we go. Appreciate you, Anna. Someone understood the assignment there. Normally, captain is going to be the guy that does it. I've had, a couple people that tried to do the lead mod duties and did it for a little bit with Sarah and Matt. But again, it's something that is a demanding job because I work every day, 7 days a week. So normally that's going to be captain, but he's moving right now. in Arizona to Phoenix. So he'll be here probably on Tuesday since the Mariners have a day off tomorrow. But anyone that's a regular or a mod can obviously step up and help me out with that. So I appreciate you, Anna. You understand the assignment. 42. We need 8 more to get to 50, and the goal for every stream moving forward will be 50 likes or more, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream so we can continue the dream. Just do the basics and pay the bills, internet fee, streaming fee, taking care of my pup, just the basics. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Brash to Jeffers. Let's go, Brash. Bizzardo did well. That's a crazy thing to say. Castillo was phenomenal. And again, it's the best version of Luis that we've seen. And again, that's exactly what we needed. We needed Wu to be great. He was. Castillo's been great, thankfully, right? Logan Evans has been great. Hancock started off terrible, but has been good lately. And Logan, Gilbert is just about to be back, and I hope that he'll be good. I imagine he will be. He won't be like Miller or Kirby. Those guys might be a wash for 2025, but I hope they get better. 2-2 pitch, and big swing and a miss. Down goes Jeffers. 2 away. Next up, DHing for the Minnesota Twins and the Twin Cities, 1 for 2 with a base on ball, Matt Wallner. Let's go, Brash. But pitching, that's what we need. Keep drafting pitchers and hitters in the draft, and then obviously in free agency, only go for pitchers, starters and relievers. We don't need, any infield or outfield. Hell, we don't even need a backup catcher because we have Harry Ford, and again, he can DH too. So, we don't need to worry about anything besides pitchers. And the more pitchers we get, the better we're going to be. And then you can just figure out eventually what guys, deserve to be on the team and what guys need to be in AAA or be cut, There's definitely quite a few of these guys that should not be on the Mariners this year. First pitch from Brash to Wallner, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Especially when you got a guy that is in AAA, Logan Evans, who arguably might be the second best pitcher for the Mariners this year. Right there behind Brian Wu. And then obviously we know when Logan Gilbert gets back, he's got a chance, to reclaim the top spot or at least be number 2 behind Wu. But Logan Evans has been fucking amazing. And again, it just, wasn't good juju sending him down after pitching 8 innings and pitching a gem. That was one of the best performances I've seen from not only the hitters, but from Logan Evans. And they did him dirty there. And they need to bring him back up. He's great for the team. And I love those goggles. Swag. 1-0 pitch. Tried to jam the hitter. And that one is fouled off. Nice souvenir for that fan there in the 5th row. 1 ball and 1 strike from Brash to Wallner. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees with the slider again. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at first and 2 outs. Brash on the mound, Wallner in the box. And even if we only win 1-0, we'll take it. We want the series win, but I do believe we'll have a chance to get to 2 or 3 before this game ends in the bottom of the 8th or the bottom of the 9th. But we want to make sure the pitching stays strong here. We don't want to have this game get tied up, or we don't want to have them take the lead. And Wallner gets hit by Brash. That's rare. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Come on, Matt. Settle in, my guy. You don't look like you had Tommy John surgery, but we can't have you hitting guys. Come on now. Went inside and lost a little bit of control there. Next up, shortstop, 0 for 3, Carlos Correa, after yelling at the ump and getting ejected. Could this be the opportunity for him that he's looking for? I hope not. Appreciate you, Anna. First pitch from Brash to Correa. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 0-1 count. And there's been quite a few previews that have come out recently within the last couple days. If you guys haven't got a chance to check it, but Stranger Things has a season 5 trailer that just came out. Looks amazing. Happy Gilmore 2 actually looks really, really good after, the original one came out years and years ago. And then on top of that, the new Dexter Resurrection. So definitely looking forward to those 3. And there's a few more that will be coming out as well in the next few months, like a brand new season of South Park and a brand new season of King of the Hill, which will be back on Hulu. Bobby is now obviously older, not obviously as young of a teenager as he was. Can't wait to be able to see what we get in those as well. 2-1 pitch. Low and away. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike from Brash to Correa. Come on now. 3-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking there in the zone. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. This is the best opportunity that the Twins have had since early in the matchup within the first 3 innings when they had a similar situation that Castillo ended up getting us out of the jam. Hopefully Brash, as he falls down to a knee there on that last pitch, doesn't slip and lose his balance. I don't want us to be down here in the top of the 8th. Let's see if we can get out of this jam. Come on, Brash. Come on, Matt. 3-2 pitch. Outside. No. He decides to go the inside route, and he jams him. Still count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second, and 2 outs. Everyone on their heels here in the top of the 8th. 1-0 Mariner lead with a big dumper solo dinger to give us that 1-run lead. Come on, Brash. But like Trent Thornton shouldn't be on the team. They let Sauce go early, which was the right decision. And Brash gets us out of the inning. Let's fucking go. We're winning now. Again, if he would have given up a run or 2 or 3, we probably would have lost this game based off Uncle Mo and momentum. But for Brash to get us out, it definitely gives you the idea that Brash, with that punch out, with obviously a 3-2 count with runners at first and second, he is our best guy in the pen, period. Spire has been getting better as of late. Same thing with Bizzardo. I don't trust Bizzardo. I don't fully trust Spire just yet, but he's getting back to where he was at the beginning of the year, which is good. And obviously we know Andres Munoz is still, in my opinion, the best closer in baseball. It just took, 56 games in before he had his first fuck up, but again, how many relievers, how many closers, can go 50 games before giving up a run? Not many. So again, we have a lot to look forward to, but again, we also have to hold our breath anytime someone comes in for the starting pitcher. Unless we're talking about Bryce Miller and George Kirby, then we're holding our breath throughout the whole 6 innings, hoping that they don't give up more than 5 runs until they get healthy. But at least we got Hancock and Evans to fill in if needed. All right, let's start to add some insurance to this matchup. We have a 1-0 lead. Let's see if we can get it to 2 or 3. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K. Made his MLB debut yesterday. Ended up having a hit, a walk, and the walk-off to be able to get the Mariners the victory in 11. One of the new favorites in Seattle, second baseman Cole Young. Batting second, third baseman, another fan favorite, Big Ben Williamson. B-dubs, he can play defense. And again, even though he's cooled off a little bit from the first 3 weeks, month when he first was, raking and coming in, still a great player to have on the team. And batting third, back at the top of the order, shortstop J.P. Crawford, who's actually had a pretty good couple of games. Let's go, J.P. Get on base. Help us win this game. Let's go. Paddock is still in the game. That's wild. They're doing the whole Logan Evans approach and having him pitch 8 innings. Let's make him pay. I mean, he's already only on a 3-hitter, right? They have 5 hits, we have 3, but Cal got the big one, the homer. First pitch to Cole Young, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off, right down the middle, 1 ball and 1 strike to Cole Young. And again, I love Cole. He's not going to be a guy that's going to hit a bunch of home runs like Cal Raleigh or Julio Rodriguez. He's going to be kind of like an Ichiro. He's going to be just a singles hitter for the most part, and he'll play good defense. And again, that's exactly what we need. someone that can be consistent, that has good attitude, is a good teammate, that plays good defense, and then can come up in big situations early in the game and late in the game. And that's Cole Young. 1-2 pitch, and Young strikes out swinging. 1 away. Still love you, Cole. Next up, third baseman, Ben Williamson. Let's go, Big Ben. And Paddock has been hard to be able to, beat so far. 2-5 record, even though you would feel he's 5-2. 3.92 ERA. But again, it's been pretty tough. And the Twins are still going with Paddock here in the 8th, just like we had with Logan Evans. First pitch from Paddock to Williamson. Right down the middle with the strike. 93 miles an hour, four-seam fastball. Paddock is just going. He's going off. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and away to Big Ben. 1 ball and 1 strike with that slider missing. A foot off the plate. Bottom of the 8th inning, 1-0 Mariners. Absolutely. And, considering how bad our bullpen has been, it's nice to have at least one guy that we have faith in, just like when we have faith in Munoz as a closer. Now we just need Gabe Spire, as well as Bizzardo and all the others. I mean, I don't got any faith in Colin Snyder or Vargas or Trent Thornton. Hopefully we can get others to replace those guys. Or, if you don't want to have Hancock or Evans and you want to go with Kirby and Miller, then let's promote, Evans and Hancock into the pen. That's going to make us better, right? Because we already know that those guys can pitch. And instead of just them sitting there on the bench doing nothing, why not moving them into the pen if they're going to be stubborn and they want to go with Kirby and Miller instead? Just a thought. That would be a lot better than Colin Snyder or Trent Thornton. You could send those guys down and bring those guys up. Kind of sounds like the way I would run the team. Pitch fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Paddock to Williamson. Because if you ended up having Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock in the pen, then all our problems disappear. Would they get fucked up from time to time in the pen? Yeah, but they would also be much better than the guys that we have now and would add to Spire and on top of Matt Brash and Munoz. And then you'd have solid, bullpen instead of having one of the worst bullpens right now. Pitches outside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Paddock pitching a gem. But Cal got the solo dinger on him to give us a 1-0 lead. And even if we win 1-0, we'll take it. 3-2 pitch. And Williamson strikes out swinging. Paddock has got all of these guys' numbers. Cole Young, see ya. Ben Williamson, see ya. All right, we're back at the top of the order. Let's see if JP can fuck him up. Shortstop, JP Crawford. One of the only guys that was able to get a hit on Paddock besides Cal. Let's go, JP. Paddock has got 10 Ks, believe it or not. Castillo had 5, but he pitched awesome. Paddock, 7.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 10 Ks, 104 pitches, 72 strikes. Wow. But even with 10 Ks, that might not be enough because we got something that they don't got. Cal Raleigh. There we go, JP. Go, go, go. Go, JP. Go, JP. Yes. JP Crawford doing the damage again. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Nice to see JP heat up, and that's exactly what we need. Nice job, JP Crawford. At some point, Colt Emerson will take your job at shortstop, but you still deserve to be on the team, as either a DH or a backup shortstop, or you could play, second base or wherever they need you to fill in. JP is one of those guys that even if he gets his job taken from him, he still deserves to be on the team 100%. He's got obviously great vibes, didn't complain when he had to go from the leadoff spot to the 9-hole, even though that was a little bit of an ego hit. Again, JP definitely deserves to be on this team, and again, has filled in nicely after the Victor Robles injury. And again, big double there. Let's see if Polo can actually do something, who's been batting about 100 in the last 17 games. First pitch from Paddock to Polo, high and away, 1-0 count. And for guys that are struggling like Polo and Randy, how about this? Just don't swing, right? Just take the walks, get plunked. Don't fucking swing. Because obviously their swings aren't on, on a good timing basis. And, these guys are striking out more than I can name. Bottom of the 8th, runner at second, JP, 1-0 Mariners. 1-0 pitch, inside, Texas strike looking at the hips. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. Jacob in the building, what's good? STL in the building, what's good? I mean, I got a link if you want to be able to watch the game, Jacob. You just got to message me and I can send it to you. But again, a lot of people will, watch the Mariner game and either put it on mute and then listen to me, or they'll just listen to me, or they'll, watch a streaming service and whatnot. But bottom of the 8th inning, runner at second, JP Crawford with 2 outs. 2-1 pitch, high and away, big swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at second, JP. And we have a 1-0 lead with a big dumper, Cal Raleigh solo dinger on Paddock, who started the game and is still in the bottom of the top of the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th inning. Three more likes to 50. Let's get there. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train. I don't think we've ever gone this long without the first one dropping, but I still have faith that we'll get at least someone to be able to show some love. Bottom of the 8th inning, runner at second, 1-0 Mariner lead. Paddock on the mound, Polo in the box. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with the runner at second. Paddock on the mound, Polo in the box. There we go, STL. I was going to say, we've never gone this long without at least one person showing some support and love. Appreciate you, my guy. We always want to make sure we're at least something, for all the hard work that I'm putting in. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. That's how the Ducks got eliminated by Cal Poly, but hopefully your Tigers can keep going. Appreciate you. We're at 5:95 to go to hit the goal. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. So, Jacob, all you got to do is message me on Instagram or X, Twitter, if you have either one of those, and then I'll accept the friend request, and then I can send you the link that way. I can't do it here, on the stream, but that'll work for not only the Mariners, but basketball, baseball, football, hockey, WWE, sometimes even NASCAR. So I usually have a couple, that I have access to. And the crazy thing is T-Mobile gives you the MLB app where you can kind of have extra innings where you can watch games. But again, when you end up doing that, and usually it's $150 value, the team that you want to watch usually is blacked out, like in your situation. So it's you can end up getting this cool thing, but you don't even get to watch your team that you want to watch in your local area. I live in Oregon, and so obviously Oregon and Washington are very Mariner affiliated and whatnot. But again, some people will have access to Root, others won't. But, sometimes with those packages that they offer, they black out the team that you want to watch. So the only way that you can watch is either A, you get cable through Xfinity or Comcast and you get Root Sports if you live in Oregon or Washington, or B, you get a streaming link and then you watch it that way. You may be behind, by 10 seconds, but at least you're going to able to watch the game rather than not at all. So, all right, let's go to the top of the 9th inning and see who's up next for Seattle. Next up for the Twins, 0 for 3 with a K, left fielder Willie Castro. Batting second baseman Roger Clemens' son, Cody Clemens. And batting third, first baseman, former Seattle Mariner, Ty France. Let's go Mariners. And if you need a little bit of an update, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Mariners. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Twins. And in the bottom of the 7th, Cal homered to right with a solo jack. And that's it. And that's the only run that you see on the board. And again, Paddock, 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 10 Ks, 110 pitches, 75 strikes. Unbelievable day. But again, Cal was the one that ended up going yard and now is the MLB leader with 23 home runs, 1 more than Shohei Ohtani, who's at 22. Wild. To think that someone would be leading the MLB in homers, again, it's like the second coming of Ken Griffey Jr., and he's a catcher. It's awesome. 2-0 pitch. and takes a strike looking right down the middle. Andres Munoz in the game, and hopefully he'll be able to shut the door down here. 2-1 pitch. Takes another strike looking in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Andres Munoz to Willie Castro. But pitching has been good, right? Castillo's been good. Bizardo was good. Brash was good. And we know Munoz will be good. He had his first fuck up, obviously in game number 1 in the series, 50-plus games in. But, I mean, how long are you going to go with an ERA of 0? You're not going to go 100 games in with 0. So at some point you knew, someone will fuck him up. But we have we have a lot of confidence in Andres Munoz. 2-2 pitch. Low and away. Count now is full to Willie Castro. 3-2 pitch. And Castro strikes out swinging, 1 away. Nice job, Munoz. That's my boy. 2 more outs, and we're going to win 1-0. Let's go. And it's funny, I mentioned early in the game, if we were to win 1-0, we'll take it. And that's where we're sitting at right now. Top of the 9th with 1 out, nobody on. 0 for 2 with a base on ball, Cody Clemens. So since this game is almost over, Jacob, again, if you end up messaging me, either through X or through Instagram or whatnot, and you come in here, I can send you the link. You can message me now while I'm on stream. I'll be back, obviously, on Tuesday. And I don't know if I'm going to do Monday Night Raw tomorrow or take the day off with my pup. But, you just message me and let me know, and I'll take care of you if you need it. And it's a reliable one. It's not going to, give you any viruses on your computer or your phone. You hit the link. There'll be a pop-up. You back out. You hit it again. You're in. Very easy. Very reliable, too. 0-2 pitch. Low and away by Munoz. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cody Clemens. Well, we're making the playoffs. We're winning the division this year. I mean, if we're the most injured team in baseball with the Braves, and we have 3 of our starting 5 injured, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and Bryce Miller, and we're still in first place with no Ryan Bliss, no Victor Robles, no Luke Raley, it shows you how good we really are, and hopefully we'll call up Harry Ford within a month or 2, and then things will really take off for us. 2-2 pitch, low, and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on and 1 out. Munoz on the mound, Clemens in the box. Yeah. Well, you can always create like a dummy one, just like just a profile real quick, You don't have to keep it, If you want to be able to have the access, you let me know. But create a profile, send me a message. I send you the link. You write it down or save it and then delete it, and then you can go that route too if you want. And Clemens walks. Next up is Ty France. And we need a double play right up the middle from JP. Munoz tried to paint the corner there. And, I mean, it's very, very close. Cal tried to do his best to frame it right there, but the ump does not give the call. But this ump has actually been much better than what we've had in the first 2 games. And a hell of a lot better than the umps that we saw, in the White Sox series and in the National series. Those were really bad. First pitch from Munoz to France. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. 1-0 Mariner lead here in the top of the 9th with a runner at first. And Munoz on the mound. France, the former Seattle Mariner, in the box. Now, we'll be able to get France out. He already has a hit today, so it's not like he's 0 for 3. So, 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and away. Nice pitch by Munoz, behind in the count 0-2. And I always will root for Ty, but again, I want to win this game. Ty can have a great game, but we need to win. Just like with, when we play the Diamondbacks and we go against Eugenio Suarez. I'll root for him to do well. But at the end of the day, Mariners need the dub. 0-2 pitch, low and away with the slider, 89 miles an hour by Andres Munoz. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. And we need a double play. Slow dribbler right up the middle to JP, throw to first, and then we win the game. Let's go Munoz. Munoz also has the ability to get punch outs on the next 2 guys if needed, but we'll see what happens here. In play. And France singles to left. Damn you, Ty. You already knew Ty was going to be good at some point in the series. 2 hits today for Ty. And now we have runners at first and second with 1 out. Next up, 0 for 3 with a K, Harrison Bader. We can't have a collapse like we had in game number 1 out of Munoz when we had the 1-run lead. We have to be able to not let them tie this up, because if you let them tie it up or take the lead, we may not win. Let's go. First pitch from Munoz to Bader, high and away, 1-0 count. Come on, Munoz. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking, right down the middle, 1 ball and 1 strike to Harrison Bader. Top of the 9th inning, runners at first and second with 1 out, a 1-0 Mariner lead. Solo dinger by big dumper Cal Raleigh, leading the MLB ranks with 23 home runs, 1 more than Shohei Ohtani, who's in second place with 22. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, tries to jam the hitter at the hips and does. 100-mile-an-hour pitch there by Munoz, straight heat, baby. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runners at first and second, and 1 out. Let's get a double play here. Let's go. Popped out of the glove of Cal Raleigh, but he did go around. Come on, Munoz. One-two pitch, low and away, about 10 feet off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 1 out. Munoz has been phenomenal this year. Had his first fuck up in game 1 in the Twin Series. But again, we can't afford anything here. Wild pitch. Fuck. France to second. Clemens to third. Come on, Munoz. What are you doing? Runners at second and third now with 1 out. Come on. And again, Munoz was fantastic, phenomenal. ERA of 0, 50-plus games in. But game number 1, he got fucked up. And now his game number 2, after his first fuck up, he's doing the same shit again. Come on, Munoz. You got to be our best piece besides Brash. You can't be a liability also. We already have plenty of shitty guys in the pen. We can't have you get shitty here. God damn it. And they tied it up. In play, sack fly. Motherfuck. Munoz, what are you doing? Holy hell. We got to hope that the bats come alive, obviously in the bottom of the 9th. And we can still win. But Munoz, what are you doing, my guy? Brutal. And you got to give the Twins credit. They are a good hitting team. They have a similar record to the Mariners, right? 31-26, dead identical. They are going to be in a battle with the Guardians and the Tigers. Tigers should win the division, but only one team between the Twins and the Guardians will probably make a wild card, and we'll figure out who the better team is. Is it Minnesota or is it Cleveland? But, tough. Should have never got to that point, but hopefully we can still win this game, but not due to Munoz. That's for damn sure. First pitch from Munoz to Lee, outside by 2 feet off the plate, 1-0 count. Come on, Munoz. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. With a runner at third with 2 outs. We cannot let this guy from third come home. We have to find a way to keep it 1-1 to give us the best chance to be able to win this game. 1-1 pitch. Low and at the knees with the slider, 89 miles an hour by Andres Munoz. 2 balls and 1 strike when 2 outs and a runner at third. Munoz coming in and fucking it up again, giving up a run when we had a 1-0 lead. Normally when he comes in, he shuts the door down, every single time. ERA of 0, 50 plus games in, but obviously, 2 games ago, game number 1, we had a 1-run lead and he, fucked that up and let them tie it. And, same thing here. 2-1 pitch, fouled off in the zone. Slider, 88 miles an hour by Munoz. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brooks Lee. 2-2 pitch, and got him. Here we go. Finally, we get out of the inning, but it should be over right now. Game should be over. Seattle Mariners win 1-0, but I don't like what I'm seeing out of Andres Munoz. But with that being said, at least he didn't give up the lead. And we were down 2-1 right now, because if we were down 2-1, we might lose. So at least now it's tied, and hopefully the bats will come alive and we have the perfect individuals to win the game. Let's see if we can get it done. Leading off for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and 2 Ks. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. I know you can do it, Julio. Trident's up. Batting second with the only run scored, Big Dumper with a solo dinger in the 7th inning. Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Big Dumper. You can do one of these, or even just a nice base hit. We'll take it. Trident's up. And batting third, 0 for 3 with a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Too bad we don't have access to Luke Raley. I would actually have Luke Raley pinch hit for Randy. Hell, I'd even have Dylan Moore pinch hit for Randy in this situation. But we'll see where we go. Trident's up. Let's go Mariners. Cool kid in the building. What's good? Yeah, but the thing is, we should have had more than, 1 run. But again, if it's a pitcher's duel, and their pitcher goes 8 innings and Cal was the only one to get a homer, we had a 1-0 lead. And with Munoz, is the normal Munoz, he shuts the door down. I mean, he had an ERA of 0, 50 plus games in. And he had his first fuck up 2 days ago and then had another one, So it would have been great to score 2, 3, 4, 5. But the bottom line is, if Munoz gets 3 guys out, we win 1-0. So you can't blame it on, the Mariner hitters. You got to blame it on Munoz for letting them tie it up, because he's had that situation happen in the past and he's been able to shut the door down, and we win 1-0. So again, some games it's going to be a hitting, type of game where you're going to have a game that's 8-7, but there's also going to be games where it's going to be very low scoring and it's going to be a pitcher's duel. And that's what we got here today. So I don't put the blame on, Mariner hitters. It's, pitching was good from both teams and we had a 1-0 lead. He blew it. It's Munoz's fault, but we can still win. 1-1 pitch to Julio Rodriguez. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. Jack's on the mound. Julio in the box with a 1-2 count. Steph in the building. What's good? But I still feel that we can win this game. But it's just unfortunate that Munoz couldn't add another number, to his, statistical line. We want him to be able to add more and more, to have this fantastic year so he can be in the All-Star game and get recognized as being one of the best closers. How many guys have an ERA of 0, 50 plus games in as a, closing pitcher? Like, it almost never happens. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Jax to Julio. Come on, J-Rod. In play. And Julio Rodriguez gets an infield single to second. Safe, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly who we needed to be up, either JP or Julio to start the inning. And here we go with 1 swing. He can end the game. 1 for 3 with a run, RBI and a K. Had a solo dinger in the 7th to give us the 1-0 lead. Could he do it again? I mean, the guy hits 2 home runs in a game more than anybody that I know other than Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani. Who we talking about? Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. MVP, baby. MVP over Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh, and Shohei Ohtani. That's what we might get this year. 23 home runs for Cal Raleigh, 22 for Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge with 19. Amazing. First pitch from Jax to Cal. Big swing and a miss with the sweeper, 89 miles an hour by Jax. 0-1 count. Come on, Cal. Let's go, baby. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss behind in the count 0-2 to Jax. Come on, big dumper. Let's go. Come on, Cal. Cal playing like Ken Griffey Jr. as a catcher. It's wild. It's crazy. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 50 likes. I don't know if we're there yet. And we're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. Let's go. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees with the sweeper. 1 ball and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. 1-2 pitch. Low and away with the changeup, 92 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Two pitch. Fouled off right down the middle with the sweeper, 87 miles an hour by Jax. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, Julio, and no outs. Game tied at 1. And again, we should have been able to win the game 1-0, but Munoz choked and let them tie it up. But at least they're not, ahead 2-1. So at least we have that going for us. But we have a good opportunity here to win the game here in regulation. Two pitch, and Cal strikes out swinging. 1 away. See, I was lucky enough to meet Griffey in his rookie year in 1989, so I'm the biggest Ken Griffey Jr. fan on planet Earth. My memorabilia collection is, you have no idea. But again, when you end up meeting someone like that, living in the Pacific Northwest when you're in first grade, it definitely changes you forever, 100%. Next up is Randy Arozarena. First pitch from Jax to Randy, low and at the knees with the sinker, 1-0 count. And they don't play the same position. Obviously it would be more of like a Ken Griffey Jr. and Julio Rodriguez comparison because they both play center. But what Cal is doing as a catcher is something that you're not even going to see out of Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench, Buster Posey, Mike Piazza, Pudge Rodriguez. And Julio steals second, wild pitch, go to third, safe. And Julio safe at third by a throwing error by Jeffers. Let's go. There we go, baby. Good awareness on the bags by J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. Now we got a runner at third here with 1 out. We should be able to win here in regulation. I mean, if you really want to be sexy, you could bunt and win the game that way. But again, the Mariners are not prepared for something like that, and Randy wouldn't be the guy to do it. But again, Randy would probably have a better chance to win this game if he bunted rather than actually swing the bat. That would throw everyone off guard. They would not be expecting a bunt from Randy, if he bunted towards first base. Just saying. Bottom of the 9th inning, Julio at third, 1-1 game. And here we go. Randy Arozarena, he does it with a single to center. Julio scores. Mariners win. Final score, Mariners 2, Twins 1. We win the series. Fuck yeah! Let's go. And you know what? For a guy that had almost 30 punch outs, he struck out 30 times almost in the last 17 games to be able to come up big in this situation here. Way to be, Randy. And a great job by Julio off that wild pitch to get to third for that to happen. What an amazing job. Way to be Randy Arozarena. Way to be Julio. And way to bail out, our stud closer, Andres Munoz. That's how you win a fucking series against the Minnesota Twins, baby. Let's go. Let's go. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win! Mariners win! Mariners win! Woo! What a series. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. A pitcher's duel. And Randy Arozarena, sometimes lazy in left field, lollygagging, not giving a whole lot of effort, and in the box has been a liability with Polo. But when it mattered most, he came up big with that RBI single for Julio to come home from third. Nice job, Randy Arozarena, earning your paycheck, baby. Let's go. Wow. Amazing win. Let's get it, baby. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. You know it, baby. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, baby. Cal on the mic. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Obviously, Mariners have a day off tomorrow, and then we'll get back to the action, obviously, on Tuesday. And then just to go over the schedule so people understand where we're at and where we're going, moving forward. All right, so we got the day off tomorrow. We just won the series against the Twins. We got a 3-game set at home against the Baltimore Orioles, and luckily, the Orioles aren't good this year. It's not the same playoff team as they were last year. So we got 3 games at home, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then we go on the road and play the Angels on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then on the road to the Diamondbacks, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Next Thursday, we have a day off. Then we're back at home for a 3-game set against the Guardians, a 3-game set at home against the Red Sox, a day off. Then we go on the road again and play the Chicago Cubs, I believe. And then after that, in a 3-game set, we're on the road to Minnesota for 4. And then on the road again with Texas Rangers for 3. And then the last game of June, we're at home against the Royals. So again, Orioles, Angels, Diamondbacks, Guardians, Red Sox, Cubs, I believe, and then Twins, Rangers, and then Royals. So again, we'll see where it goes. But again, this was a big, big win. And sometimes, even though you need to score typically 4 to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits to compete, you still can find ways to win 1 to 3 runs. And this was one of those games, a pitcher's duel. Nice job by Castillo. Nice job by Bizzardo. Nice job by Brash. Munoz wasn't good, but it was good enough for us to come back because he didn't give up the lead. And Randy Arozarena, a guy that is not reliable, almost 30 Ks in 17 games, ended up coming up in the biggest moment. And thankfully, Randy got it done because, again, him and Polo have been so ice cold. Nice to be able to see at least one of those guys, come up with a play significant enough for us to win. Let's go. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do on your way out. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang. Trident's up. Go Mariners.